Hello, welcome to my channel. So I'm back with another video, and today is gonna be a book review. I hope you guys are excited for these because they're actually my favorite video to film. I really enjoy reading, but girl, I'm gonna show you in a little bit the book that I'm gonna talk about. But first things first, girl, I am gonna be drinking throughout my video, and today I really need just a shot. I've been through a lot recently, and so girl, I need something really quick and strong. So we're just gonna take a shot. It's gonna be tequila. I'm gonna just finish this little bit. So if you want to drink with me or anything you want, go get it and let's get started. Salud. Like I said, this video is going to be a book review, and I am going to review this book. I'm going to show you. So it's called The Trial of the Sun Queen. It's very interesting and very entertaining for sure. So let's just talk about it. Let's just dive right into it. So this book, a very quick synopsis. It's about the main character. Her name is Lore, and Lore is a prisoner, and she's been in prison for about 12 years. And girl, like, this girl knows how to fight and she knows how to defend herself, and I really like that. Well, anyways, one day she gets in trouble for doing something. She is thrown in like the middle of the woods type of thing, and she's like in a hole kind of, and she has to survive there because in those woods there's just a lot of monsters in those woods. Okay, so she is thrown there for a week. I think it's for like a week, and no food. She only gets water when it rains, and girl, she hits rock bottom. Okay, she is literally telling like Diosito, take me now, okay, because she just can't take it anymore. And well, girl, she ends up getting like kidnapped, and she wakes up in this beautiful palace. And what happens is that they end up telling her there that she is competing with 9 other girls, so she's the 10th girl. She is also human, and the other girls are fairies. They're fairies, fae, so it's a very fantasy romance. So she does have to compete with these fairies, and obviously they have an advantage and she doesn't, like she was about to die. So has to compete in these trials with these fairies, and it's to win the title of the Sun Queen. That means that she gets to marry the king, and they get to rule together, and obviously she has some things she has to do if she wins. But the whole thing is that if Lore doesn't win, they're just gonna kick her back into the prison. And obviously she doesn't want to go back there, right? So she has to compete in this trial and try to win. So that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I said too much already, but not a lot, I promise. So let's just dive right into it. I'm gonna talk about the one thing that I liked about this book. So I really enjoyed the story. I feel like the whole story was just so like intense and interesting. I really, at first, I thought it was a little slow, but then girl, like, you have a lot of elements. There's some spice to it, not a lot, okay, not a lot, but there is definitely some spice. You do also have that trial, so they do have to compete, and some girls do die while they're competing in these trials. So it is kind of like nerve-wracking. You're like, oh my god, ¿qué va a pasar? Se va a morir. Like, you know, like it's so like intense when they have to compete, but there's also parts and where it kind of slows down and it talks about lore and it talks about the king and their relationship as well and how it's developing and their romance as well. And it is also, it does have a lot and a lot of history of this world. Okay, so it has a lot of things, but I really liked all of it together. I feel like it just wrapped up the story so well. It also leaves you with the cliffhanger that I'm just like, I have to read the other book. But it is such a great story. I really did like the storyline and it was so entertaining. Everything with the romance and the trials and the spice was just, I loved it. I loved it, okay? It was so good. So with that said, one thing that I didn't like about this book was the pacing. I did feel like it dragged a little bit just because it does talk about the history of this world and it drags a little bit, you know, like you just have to get through it. It's not super slow, okay? Not at all. But it does have some pacing issues in my opinion. That's pretty much like what I didn't like. Everything else I loved this book. So now I am gonna talk about a character that I liked in this book or that I found interesting, and I really enjoyed Lore. I really did like the character of Lore. I think she is such a strong, independent female lead. She does make mistakes in this book. Que te quedas con que, are you kidding me, Lore? Like, why would you do that? Why would you say that? But I do feel like she is learning. Okay, she's been in prison for 12 years. Give her a break, okay? And I really do like that she expresses her sexuality, that she's not scared of saying, you know what, if I want to give my body, then that's my choice, you know? Like, I do like that element as well. She's very pro-female. Of course, she does have some problems with other female characters in this book, but I feel like she doesn't give off as a mean girl. She's just trying to survive this world that she's just thrown in. So I just think her character is just so great. Like, it's well written. I don't think that she makes us look dumb or like she makes female look stupid. I feel like it's kind of true to us girls, and I really do like her being just a very strong, independent, and just fiery girl. I just love Lore, and I just can't wait to read more about her and her story. It did leave off in a huge cliffhanger, so I just can't wait to learn more about her and where she's from and everything about her. Okay, so I won't make it too long. I am just going to tell you my last thoughts and if I like this book, if I recommend this book. You know the answer is yes. It is a little slow at the beginning, but girl, once you start getting into the trials, it's just so great. The ending was the ending was amazing. The ending was just like I was just like, what? It was just great overall. I really do recommend this book if you're into, it's a little bit of thriller action, but it's more focused on romance and fantasy. If you're into those, it's not a thriller, okay? Don't be thinking it's a thriller. It does have a little bit of the trials, but it is mostly a romance book. like a fantasy romance, then you're gonna love this. I think it's kind of similar to ACOTAR and Thorn of, I'm sorry, Glass of Thorn or Thorn of Glass. Do not hate me. Book community, don't hate me if I don't know that. Okay, I'm sorry. But it's another book from Sarah J. Maas, and I think it's supposed to be kind of similar. I don't think it's the same thing. Okay, don't be thinking she's plagiarizing, but it is kind of that type of books. So if you enjoyed those books, just jump over and read this one because you're just gonna love this book. Okay, so if you like those type of books, please read it. I do recommend it. I give it a 4.5. I think it was just great. I think it would have been a 5 if the pacing was a little faster, but overall, it was just great, amazing story, and I can't stop talking about it because it was just great. Okay, I loved it. So yeah, girl, thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Also, like my video, comment. I love reading your comments. And yeah, girl, if you want to read this book, please pick it up. It's such a great book, and that's all I have to say. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.